necessarily represent the views of the advertisers, management, staff, or ownership of WCTC.
No time to call Jersey Central? Join the conversation online and be a part of WCTC's real-time talk. Like 1450 WCTC on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at 1450 WCTC. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Think we could listen to the radio or something?
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
808, welcome to hour number 3 of Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. I am Bert Barron. Good morning to you. We're inside the Ford Jeweler studio today. Coming up sometime between now and 8:30, we will have our contest. Yeah, we'll move the contest up in the 8 o'clock hour a little bit. We'll do it for you. Chance to win the tickets to see Celtic Woman at State Theater. The show is Tuesday, December 6th, and we've got your chance to win coming up very soon. We were talking at the end of the last hour, too, about how smartphones and tablets and whatnot are not helping kids get the necessary sleep that they need. And now with the change of the clocks coming up this weekend and the end of daylight saving time, it means that kids are going to be spending more of their awake hours in the dark. Well, my guest on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline has written a brand new book that might kind of help kids get a better understanding and might help them navigate the time change a little bit. Her name is Sandra Feeder, and she joins us this morning here on WCTC. The book is called The Moon Inside. Hey, Sandra, it's Bert Barron. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to talk to you. I'm going to show our webcam here a copy of the cover of your book, The Moon Inside, which I just love. But talk about what the goal of you were hoping to accomplish with this new book here.
Well, thank you, Bert. As you said, a lot of children experience fear of the dark, and this time of year when we're turning the clocks back, that can make it even harder for parents and kids to navigate bedtime. The goal of the story is to give the kids and their parents one more tool for helping to make darkness and bedtime go a little bit smoother. And the story is about a little girl who, when darkness comes in the house, likes to go around and turn on all the lights. And her mother coaxes her outside one night, and she gets to appreciate what happens in the nighttime. She sees the crickets outside, or hears the crickets outside and sees the fireflies, and, of course, gets some comfort with the moon, thus the title, The Moon Inside.
Maybe Mom was a little bit getting nervous watching the electric bill climb every month with the girl who would go around and light up the house every night because she was afraid of the dark. But it's something that I think every kid needs to learn. I, as a kid, was very afraid of the dark. Was the boogeyman down in the basement, don't go down there. And it took me a while to kind of get used to, being in the dark and with the clock change coming up. It's going to be 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon here in New Jersey, and it's going to be like the middle of the night coming up next week.
Yeah, I think this time of year, kids definitely feel it, and I hear from a lot of adults that they feel it too when we turn back those clocks. And as you said, this fear of the dark is so common for children. I think most children have experienced it at some point in their lives, and that fear for a lot is fear of the dark. Some have experienced fear. One of my daughters was convinced we had giants living in our basement when she was little, and finally one night I took her down there and turned on the lights and showed her what it actually was down there, and it was fascinating because her imagination had just concocted something, of course, that wasn't real at all, and once she saw the reality in the nighttime, she was able to get past that.
Yeah, and sometimes when it's a young kid who has an older brother or sister, sometimes they don't make it any easier when they kind of like play into it and say, "Oh, don't go down there. There's bad stuff happening down there." That doesn't make it any easier for the young kids, does it?
No, I suppose not. And interestingly, I've been talking about the book a lot. Of course, we just had Halloween, which was filled with ghosts and ghouls and goblins, and that doesn't necessarily help kids who are already a little bit afraid. So I hope my book, which is really a quiet, gentle bedtime story that really tries to teach kids to appreciate what's in the dark and to get a comfort level with nighttime. Fear of the dark often occurs for children when their imaginations are just blossoming, which is wonderful. But at the same time, they can't quite separate the things that are in their imagination from the reality. So our job as parents can be to help expose them to things at night, explain what's going on, what they're seeing, and what they're hearing. And hopefully that will give them a little more comfort.
Yes, I hope so. Sandra Feeder is our guest this morning here on Jersey Central. A brand new book, The Moon Inside, kind of helping kids deal with darkness and the time change, of course, that is coming up. And talk about the pictures and the animation in this book, Sandra. It's really just stunning, the animation that comes along with this book. Talk about the artist you worked with.
Oh, thank you. I think she did such a beautiful job. Her name is Amy Securo, and she lives in Brooklyn, New York, not too far from you. And she she just did the most stunning artwork for this book. The part of the story is that the character Ella, the little girl, loves the color yellow and loves the bright sunshine and daylight. And Amy just bathes the first part of the book in beautiful yellows and really features that color throughout the first part of the story. And then as darkness comes in the house and as Ella goes outside with her mother, the nighttime scenes are so beautifully rich, and there's so many things for children to find in each of the pages, from the moon in the sky to little creatures outside at night. And it's really just a lovely, beautiful scene that she set for my story.
It's well written, and the pictures are spectacular, and the book is just terrific. Available through the major retailers, Sandra. Is that where people can find The Moon Inside?
Absolutely. I always encourage people to support their local bookstore if you're lucky enough to have one in your community, and absolutely available online as well.
All right, good stuff. Again, the book is called The Moon Inside by author Sandra Feeder, who joined us for a couple minutes today. Sandra, thank you again. Congratulations on the terrific book, and maybe you can get kids a little less fear of the dark, if you will. But the book is really terrific. Congratulations on it, all right?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Sure thing. Thank you. All right, Sandra Feeder, my guest on the Jersey Central News.